Good whooping, well done. Good evening, this is Rosalind Court, my name's Maureen Butler, and this evening we have Jon Wilkes. Yeah! Everybody in the room, you're all in the raffle. And what might you win in the raffle? Well, you might win a Jon Wilkes CD, not that he knows yet, but yeah. I'm sure he'll be delighted. Second prize, a Who Gives a Crap special edition toilet roll. It's the Find the Toilet edition, yeah, along the lines of Where's Wally? Essential to have in your bathroom. People at home, if you donate during this concert, this live stream, then we'll put you in the raffle. Or if you take part in the chat, I'll also put you in the raffle. So there you go. That's something to look forward to. I'm going to sing a song, and Ty Watling is going to help me. This is a song in the folk tradition, written by friends and used to be neighbours, written by Pete Doherty and Carl Barat. Love and hate, tattooed diamond knuckles round the handles of a blade. On the knuckles round the handle of a blade, a bloody blade. And here they come, flashing lights and sirens, you know it won't be long. Time for the radio to play one last song, one last song. I'm just calling to tell you, baby, they're taking me away for a while. Don't blame me, it's this world that's made me. They're taking me away for a, taking me away. And here they come, flashing lights and sirens, you know it won't be long. Just time to call the missus and tell her what you've done, that you've done wrong. I'm just calling to tell you, baby, they're taking me away for a while. Don't blame me, it's this world that's made me. They're taking me away for a, taking me away. No, you've got to know, as they wash the blood from your clothes, you can clean your clothes, you can't clean your soul. ACAB, tattooed on your knuckles, does the world know what it means? Now they're putting on the brace that saw you so young and hard and mean, so cold and mean. I'm just calling to tell you, baby, they're taking me away for a while. Don't blame me, it's this world that's made me. They're taking me away for a, taking me away.
Still getting noise on this guitar? There's still
we are getting noise.
On this one. Can I borrow your guitar?
You can.
Thank you.
I'd love you to.
Thank you.
Can we please welcome to the stage Ty Watling playing my guitar? Woo.
Still there. Still there. Is it this mic? Okay, we'll do something anyway. I mean, I was eliminating the knee slides from this performance, but thank you. Thanks for your... No, that is helpful. I was sitting in the Hollywood Hawaiian Hotel. I was staring in an empty coffee cup. I was thinking that the gypsy wasn't lying. All the salty margaritas in Los Angeles, I'm gonna drink 'em up. And if California slides into the ocean, like the mystics and statistics say it will, I predict this motel will be standing until I pay my bill. Don't the sun look angry through the trees? Don't the trees look like crucified thieves? Don't you feel like desperados under the eaves? Heaven help the ones who leave. And I'm still waking up in the morning with shaking hands, and I'm trying to find a girl who understands me. But except in dreams, you're never really free. Don't the sun look angry at me? I was sitting in the Hollywood Hawaiian Hotel. I was listening to the air conditioner hum, and it went Look away down Gower Avenue. Look away. Look away down Gower Avenue. Look away. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ty. He'll sing another song in the second half. You can't hear it, you people at home, because you have to do something else then. Please, can we welcome to the stage someone who is not just a brilliant folk performer, but also a bit of a mover and a shaker in the folk world, because not only was he performing with a member of Blur last week, but indeed, but also he organised that fantastic concert for Martin Carthy 2 weeks ago, yeah, where just about everybody that should be there was there, yeah. Apart from me, yeah, he never asked me, which was a bit rude, but I've forgiven him. Anyway, please welcome Jon Wilkes.
Thank you. Nice to be back here. I like playing here. So thank you for coming out. I'm going to play a few songs for you from my new album, Needless Alley. And I'm going to play some songs off of previous albums and some traditional songs. I'm going to start with one called The Montague Wailer, which sounds traditional, but is not. It was written by a man called Nigel. And if we think that traditional songs are usually songs that we've forgotten who wrote them, they've been passed down through the years, and the authors have been lost in the midst of time. This is not one of them, even though it sounds like one. It was written by Nigel Burney Bruin. He was one of the people who helped to develop Pink Floyd's Light Show in the 1960s. Then he became a sailor, and he went to fight in the Falklands War. And he wrote this song about about some old boats.
Disarray, and your travellers are jammed at the yard. You lost critical and bond, and your blanket is sprung, and the grease in your gentle's gone hard. Well, your garbage straight split, and your stretchers don't fit, and your paintwork's beginning to peel. By the sailors of old, of the lives that you saved from the sea. You're the last galliot, you've been left here to rot. Now who's going to save you for me? When you shake out your reef, take the wind by its teeth, and you sail into history and song. No more will they shout as they put you about. These are the things we've done wrong. So away with your keelson, and away with your yard, and away with your mizzen and main. For the days of the Montague whaler are the days we will not see again. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll play you the first song off the album. It was also the first single. Can you make that a little brighter? Thank you. So, it's got a little bit of a singy bit. Are you singers? Yeah? You don't mind a sing song? I'll teach you the singy bit in the middle of it. I wrote this song kind of like you might create a jigsaw. I had the tune on the guitar, the riff thing for ages, and a tune and a melody, and I could not get the words. That was a common theme for this album. I could not get the words for almost anything. It took ages to get the words to work. And in the end, I put this on a computer and then chopped it up and copy and pasted bits and moved stuff around until I found the right way for the song to sit together, and then found a way to put words in. And the words were words that I felt like I'll change those later, but never did. And then the problem is that I recorded it into a computer, and I recorded it with a band, adding the band to all of those bits. And then I went out to play it on the road and realised that I didn't know how to play it at all. So I've had to work out a way to play this song live that is actually quite different to the version on the album. It's roughly the same, but it's called Could You Be the One? And it goes like this.
Then one day when the weather changed and you weren't caught up in your stuff again, you allowed yourself to see sharp is the breeze as it murders out in the darkness and takes on the seas. But who would take on the darkening night just to be here with you? Yes, who wouldn't take on the darkening night just to be here with you? This is where I'd like you to help me out. There's a little bit here, but I'm going to sing it to you. I'd like you to sing it back to me, and then we'll keep it rolling. And we'll add some harmonies if we can, if we're feeling ambitious. Whenever you're with me, I feel braver. Try that. Whenever you're with me, I feel braver.
spotted my friend on the wall, Martin Carthy, over there. I did a tour with Martin a couple of years ago. I think it partly came about through an idea that Morag had. It was kind of a talking, chatting tour, but playing some songs as well. Every night before the gig, I would play a little game with Martin Carthy. I would sit backstage with him and I would play him a song from his back catalogue. Given that he's made somewhere around 40 albums, that's quite a back catalogue. And I would sit there and I would play him some songs and I would see if he could guess what I was playing. And sometimes he did and sometimes he didn't. This was one that he guessed. So this was off his second album, which he released in 1969. And I started playing it and he sort of looked at it like he does, like this. And he went, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, it's something that you recorded about 50 years ago." And he said, "Sing it." So I started playing it. And he listened intently to the first verse. He joined in on the second verse. By the fourth verse, he was correcting me on the third verse. So he has these moments. He's I suppose getting a little bit cloudy up there a little bit, but he has these moments when some of these songs come screaming back to him and he remembers them very well. So this was one of those that we had a lovely time playing together. And it's called Davy Louston. Well, my name is Davy Louston. I did seal, I did seal. My name is Davy Louston. I did seal. Though my men and I were lost, and our very lives it crossed, we did seal. We did seal. We did seal. We were set down in open bay. We were set down, down in open bay. We were set down. We were left, we gallant men, never more to sail again, for to die, for to die, for to die. Well, our captain John Bedard, he set sail, he set sail. Yes, for old Port Jackson, he set sail. I'll return men without fail, but they floundered in the gale and went down, and went down, and went down. Well, we cured 10,000 skins for the fur, for the fur. Cured 10,000 skins for the fur. Brackish water, putrid seal, we did all of us fall ill, for to die, for to die, for to die. Welcome all you lads who sail
sail upon the sea, on the sea. Come all you jacks who sail upon the sea. Well, the schooner Governor Bligh took up those who did not die. Never sail, never sail, never sail. Welcome all you lads who venture far from home, far from home. Come all you lads who venture far from home, where the icebergs tower high. That's a pitiful place to die. Never sail, never sail, never sail. Thank you.
John, I'm just going to interrupt for 1 minute to say, if you're enjoying this at home as much as we are, please, if you can possibly donate to the making of this concert, it would be really, really wonderful. And John has written very many songs about Birmingham, and you know, he knows a lot about Birmingham. And Birmingham's known for its rich cultural heritage as well, its comprehensive road layout. It's got industry, canal networks, international cuisines, specifically the Balti Triangle, Cadbury World, and the Jewellery Quarter. So,
Have you been paid by the Birmingham
Yeah,
Tourist
I have.
Council?
Yeah, I feel
Is
really
that how
ashamed.
this gig's going now?
Well, we've all got our idea about Birmingham and what we think about it. And I've done a bit of research locally. And to give you an idea of how much to donate, I've discovered that if you really do want a Peaky Blinders gangster haircut, you can get one round here for £8. So if you could send the equivalent, that would be lovely, lovely. They'll only do it if you leave with your oversized hat on, they say, which is fair enough. Please don't send us an oversized hat. You can donate to the link that's running below me now. And John, would you like to tell the people at home where they can grab a hold of your merch?
The people at home, Morag, thank you for all of that. I learned something myself. The people at home can get it from my website, jonwilkes.online. And from there they'll find their way to the albums or the merch or various things like that.
Great.
Bandcamp as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ultimately where you'll end up. So. Not Spotify.
No, that's
we
good.
don't do that
Yeah,
anymore.
good. Great. Pleased to hear it. When Martin Carthy was here last, he, for some godforsaken reason, he asked me to sing a song, and I ended up with a guitar and was tuning up, and then had an absolute fit of the giggles. The idea of tuning up in front of Martin Carthy just really appealed to me. I have to say, I think a lot of your guitar sound at the moment is sounding very Dick Gaughan-like.
Is it?
Yes.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
That's not the first time I've heard that.
All right, well, maybe it's true.
It might be
It
true.
might be true,
It
yeah.
might be true.
Anyway, right, I'll go away now and you can get on with it. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Morag, please. Going to play you a song also from the new album that I wrote with Ellie Gowers. I think Ellie has been here, hasn't she? Ellie is a wonderful singer-songwriter from Warwickshire. I always say that I'm from Birmingham, and sort of I am, but the place where I was born, when I was born, was Warwickshire, and then the county lines keep moving back and forward. So for the purpose of this song, I was from Warwickshire. I had this, it's another one where I had a little guitar part, and I had
had this guitar part for ages, and it reminded me of Nick Drake, and it reminded me of riding down Warwickshire country lanes when I was a teenager. But it stubbornly would not write itself. So I asked Ellie, because I knew she was from Warwickshire as well, and she's a good friend of mine. Could she help me out? And she invited me to go and stay at her place for a couple of days, and within the first day we managed to finish the song, and that's what this is. I heard from Ellie just before. She said to say hi to you, Morag. If you don't know Ellie, go and check her out. She's really good. It's a really... on the record, I sing all the low parts. Today, I'm going to do my best to impersonate Ellie Gowers and try to hit the high parts. So forgive me if it goes drastically wrong, and please don't leave screaming. Settled down. How do you leave this town? As for me, I'm still here, chasing down the memories through the years. I chased you down a dusky lane till you hopped the garden gate, where the old river flows. That's where I run out of road. There's no rhyme or reason for the wanting of the days gone by, turning through the seasons. We're just memories of memories in time. Patterns fade and I'm strung out on the line. I was never on to plan. I took it day by day. So why do I feel bitter about the time I waste? We would waste it at the water on a summer's holiday, and where the old river flows, there are stories still stowed away. There's no rhyme or reason for the wanting of the days gone by, turning through the seasons. We're just memories of memories in time. Patterns fade, I'm strung out on the line. I wonder what I'd change if I had my way. Would I make the same mistakes? Do you ever think of me? Am I in your frame of mind? Do you remember me at all? Now a person so hard to find. There's no rhyme or reason for the wanting of the days gone by, turning through the seasons. We're just memories of memories in time. There's no rhyme or reason for the wanting which you're all going to sing with me, I think. I'm not going to tell you the chorus of this. You're going to learn it by the end. However well you do, you're going to be doing better than they did in Aldershot. I promise you. What happened in Aldershot stays in Aldershot. But nobody was happy that night. It's a song by a guy called, it's a traditional song. It was collected in the Black Country by a guy called Phil Drabble. Does anybody remember Phil Drabble? Okay, that's the question that splits the audience between people who've been around quite a while and people who've been around less quite a while. For those that were around less years than the others, Phil Drabble was a TV presenter. He presented a TV show called One Man and His Dog. Now, One Man and His Dog is what happened before the internet, basically. We used to gather around the TV on Sunday afternoon and watch sheepdog trials because there was nothing else to do. So I don't know why I'm specifically looking at you. There's several of you around. But that's what happened. But Phil Drabble was a Black Country historian, a sort of folk historian. He had a habit of travelling around the Black Country and collecting songs and collecting bits of information and folklore and scribbling them all down. And he eventually wrote a book called The Black Country, which was published in 1952 or thereabouts. And it's a really interesting book because it kind of shows that cusp of time, that kind of Laurie Lee, Cider with Rosie kind of time when the old world is rapidly modernising and there's still a glimpse of how people lived less than 100 years ago. He also wrote a book called Weasels in My Meat Safe, which I do have a copy of, but I've never looked at. It's the only piece of what I believe was fan mail. It didn't have a message with it. It just kind of fell through my front door, flopped onto the doormat. Weasels in my meat safe, like some kind of veiled threat. And there it was. And one day I'll get round to it. But for now, I recommend The Black Country, from which this song is taken. And it goes like this. An old man was resting one day down by the lane when a gang of young sportsmen came by. They passed many a joke on his old sodden cloak, and the tramp, he's looked up and he sighed. You may laugh, you may chaff, just because I am down in the world. When you find out to your sorrow, you're up today and down tomorrow. This one man is doing better than Aldershot already. Well, you can't put a stop to misfortune, for whatever will be, will be. And I might have been up in the world like you, and you might have been down like me. Well, he looks just like a scarecrow, says one fella there, like a bag of old rags left untied. And the sportsmen, they laughed at the joke of their friend, and the tramp, he's looked up and he sighed. You may laugh, you may chaff, just because I am down in the world. When you find out to your sorrow, you're up today and down tomorrow. Very good. Well, you can't put a stop to misfortune, for whatever will be, will be. And I might have been up in the world like you, and you might have been down like me. Oh, harmonies and everything. You're spoiling me, Margate. Misfortune, it came down through the top of my hat, and lower I feel,
And from this day to that, when the sportsmen they met, they'd recount the old tramp's ordeal. You may laugh, you may chaff, just because I am down in the world. When you find out to your sorrow, you're up today and down tomorrow. Well, you can't put a stop to misfortune, for whatever will be, will be. And I might have been up in the world like you, big finish, and you might have been down like me. Very good. Hugely impressed, hugely impressed. Thank you for that. How long do you want me to keep playing for, Morag? And then the raffle, okay. Right, in that case, I'm going to do a little retuning, and I'm going to hope that I don't break my string, which seems to be happening every day this week. So what happened was, for like a year, I didn't break any strings. No strings broken at all. And then I did this Martin Carthy tribute concert that Morag mentioned, and I got to play with a musical hero of mine, Graham Coxon from Blur. And in the rehearsal, I snapped a string straight away. And then in the second part of the rehearsal, I snapped another string. And then Graham very kindly said he would come and play with me again. So we played at the Green Note this Monday gone. He came down and he played again. And we had the sound check, and I snapped a string. And at that point, I had no spare strings. So I had to get on Instagram and ask people to bring strings. And luckily, somebody did bring strings. So I had two guitars like I've got here. One, by this point, had 5 strings, and one had 6 strings. And I got on stage and I played the first half thinking I'll change the strings on the other one in the interval. And during the first half, I snapped another bloody string. Now, I haven't snapped a string this time, and I can see that Graham Coxon is not in the room. And that's the only difference. So I think he has an effect on me and my playing, or my tuning skills. Hear people gasping, don't do it, don't do it. Well, I've spent a lot of time on tour with Martin Carthy, so I know a little bit about tuning. I'm a little bit faster than he is. I'll be finished before the end of the first set. I've just told you a story. He does, I promise you he does. He does. I'm going to play you a tune that's off the new album. It's the last tune on the album. It's called Willow. It was written for my cousin, who was called William. And the family called him Willow because he was a terribly gentle, lovely, gentle character. And unfortunately, he was slightly too gentle for this hard world that we live in, so he chose to leave it. And so I wrote this tune with him in mind, mixing in some of the sort of the light and the darkness of the life that he led. It's just an instrumental tune. But this is what it goes like. And for those in the room, I will be available when this set ends to sell you tat from the merch store. I have more tat. I have T-shirts and mugs and stuff that are in the green room, which I can present to you should you
should you want to peruse. But I've just brought the albums out for now. At the moment, I'm travelling around with loads of tat. I feel a little bit like a travelling salesman who also plays a bit of music on the side. I'm not very good at it, but it's a great album. It sounds particularly good on that lovely blue vinyl that's over there, if you're still a vinyl collector. I'm sure there are vinyl collectors still here in Margate. So, I beg your pardon? Brushes, no brushes, sir. But if you want brushes, I know a chap, so I'll sort you out. Right, this is called Willow. Isn't it? Almost. Do you want me to read this out? This is Helen Blake. Dig about. And this one.
Toilet roll.
Matt Evans, you've won a toilet roll. Result. What you've always wanted. Do I continue?
It's professional, isn't it? Can we have one more song before the break? Do you have one?
I can play one more song before
That's
the break.
wonderful.
I'm going to
Thank
play
you.
yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I'm going to play you a song. I have a little obsession at the moment. It's with a club that existed in the 1960s in Soho. It was at 49 Greek Street, and it was a club called Les Cousins. Anybody here went? We've got one. We'll have to talk later. The reason we'll have to talk is that I've just signed a book publishing deal to write the history of Les Cousins. Les Cousins, for those that don't know, in my opinion, was the equivalent to the Cavern, but for folk music. So it was as important to British folk and blues music as the Cavern was to rock and roll. And on any given night, you could have seen Paul Simon, Nick Drake, John Martin, Bert Jansch, Ralph McTell, Sandy Denny. All of these people were at the beginning of their careers and were just starting out, and they were sort of cross-pollinating their musical styles, and it sort of came out in what we now think of as that sort of 60s, early 70s British sort of folky blues sound, that kind of Fairport Convention-y type thing, and it all sort of bubbled away down there in that little basement. I'm too young to have gone there. It closed in 1972, and I was born in 1977, so I didn't get to go there. But every time I've read about people like Nick Drake or Martin Carthy, all of these people, Les Cousins is this kind of footnote, and it's got a fascinating story in and of itself. So I'm going to write that story next year, hoping to get the book out by Christmas next year. I used to go to Greek Street as well as a teenager in the 90s, where I met a girl and had a fling, like so many of us did, and I put it all down in this song, which is called Greek Street. If you happen to have heard it and you know the chorus, please feel free to sing along. Right, Greek Street. Well, it's of a Soho morning in shades of dirty grey. At 6 a.m. well I've stumbled once more into the day. The street's in need of hosing down to wash away the gloom. And I was 19 years of age, the time has gone so soon. 'Twas there I spied a maiden with glitter in her hair, and it fell in shards of crimson, and it lit the morning air. She's teetered on her platform heels, she's scaffolded my mind. Me without a hard hat on, just begging to be fined. Yes, I would recommend, and I'd write it in a song. Night that ends on Greek Street with the rising of the sun to anybody on. Well, she took her name from winter. No robin went without, and she's fluttered on the petrol breeze as neon picked her out. The soul of Cambridge Circus, a phoenix from the frost. Before I knew what had begun, I had already lost. So we took a bus to Lewisham, where her mother had a place, and against the kitchen sideboard I kissed her on the face. Then on a Swedish packing bed I kissed her naked breast,
And it wasn't till the midnight moon we stopped to take a rest. Yes, I would recommend, and I'd write it in a song. A night that ends on Greek Street, the rising of the sun. To anybody young. Well, it's strange what I'll remember. It's strange what I recall. I don't remember conversations. I don't remember words at all. I remember trips to Brighton, wrapped warm against the cold. I remember thinking time had stopped and we would not grow old. That's the wonder of the transient, the sense of life alive. It's the magic of the twilight stars and fingers intertwined, and fingers then unraveled. Distance in the sheets, and distance in the way she's gazed way back on down the street. Yes, I would recommend, and I'd write it in a song. A night that ends on Greek Street, with the rising of the sun. To anybody young. Well, we've lingered in the summer months, my winter maid and me, and on those Soho evenings I've loved her tenderly. But by the time the autumn came, her eye began to roam, and I've wandered back to Lewisham, all longing and alone. So we took a Swedish packing bed for some other blade to gain, and I tried my best to blame her, but the blame, it never came. For she was but 18 years of age and barely in her bloom. That one sweet misty morning on old Greek Street in the gloom. Yes, I would recommend, and I'd write it in a song. A night that ends on Greek Street, with the rising of the sun. To anybody young. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a short while.
Hey, Jon Wilkes! Also, for the people at home, you people here, you're going to have another entire set. But for the people at home, we need to thank Ty Watley. And Nick on the... Jeff on the door. Nick's not here. Roger doing the live streaming. John doing the wonderful sound. Phil doing the cameras. Lizzie doing whatever it is she does on the internet, but from the kitchen today. And in her penny at the bar, Una! Now, actually...
I'm all right.
I mean, Ty is actually work shadowing this week because he and Aisha are going to be hosting next week because Chris and I are going on our holidays. Yeah. So, I know, just never away. So that's going to be for Emily Slade. Emily Slade's wonderful. Do come and see Emily Slade. She's a really fantastic performer and has a very particular voice, which I think you will really, really love. Now, on October the 17th, at Margate Arts Club, just up the road, which is not here, and it's not Thursday, there's an evening for weird folk, which this is the flyer for. And if you get one from the door there, you can get your own cutout and construct crab. It's fancy dress, of course. Of course it is. I know it's Cliftonville. It's a very particular part of Margate. Yeah. October the 23rd, Culverake, which are 3 traditional folkies. Wonderful, wonderful. That will be hosted by James Gaunt of Bower Street Morris. So that will be... James and I have 2 things in common. 1, we are the same colour, and 2, we have the same hair. But he must be 6'5", mustn't he? I mean, it's like a different species, really. It's quite interesting. On October the 30th, we've got Mickey and Michelle, who have come all the way from New Zealand with a harp. So I reckon you could get on the loop and come and see them. That would be great. November the 6th, Rob Johnson, who's a great, great performer. They all are. November the 13th, Emily Portman. Now, she was the one who recently discovered she'd made a CD, but she hadn't. It's AI had done it, and people phoned her up and said, "Oh, that's a nice CD you've made." She said, "I've made a CD." So,
but can I just say one extra thing? Because that's not the thing to remember about Emily Portman.
No, it's not.
That is a very important thing.
No.
But she's probably, in my opinion, the best singer-songwriter in the country who uses tradition to make something new. She's just extraordinary. Yeah. She is such a huge influence on me. So go and see Emily.
Yes, indeed. Fabulous. Okay, so thank you, Jon Wilkes. This is Rosalind Court. I'm Morag Butler. Hope we'll see you next week. Bye.